Hey, Sugar. Long time no see. Come over here. Where have you been? Don't even start with me. I know for a fact that I've looked everywhere around the mansion for you, and I've looked everywhere around school, and I have not seen hide nor hair of you. So where you been? What have you been up to? Well, let me guess. You went on your very first mission, didn't you? Tell me everything. Wait. That means you haven't been around the mansion in a while. Am I hearing you correctly? You've missed a lot. And I'm saying a whole bunch. What are you still doing there? Get over here. Honestly, this is not for prying ears or prying minds. This is for your ears and eyes only, alright? Wait till you hear it. Wait, just wait. In fact, everyone knows not to bother us, right? When we're doing our little small time. So that means we have a perfect excuse. So why don't you sit your butt down, get comfortable, I'll go get my stuff, and then I'll tell you everything. And then you can fill me in on everything about your mission and how it feels to finally be an X-Men. You know, I still don't even think I have the right to call myself that. I'm not even really sure what I bring to the team yet, except for a whole bunch of attitude if you ask Scott and Jean. But don't ask them, but maybe ask them so I know what they're saying about me. Because, every time I come by, mum's the word, you know what I'm saying? And I can't help it. I've been told I have anger issues. It's just people make me so mad, But who never makes me mad? I was talking about you. My goodness, it really has been a while since we last seen each other. That should have been an easy one. But that's fine. I'll be right back. You get comfortable, and then I'll go and make sure everyone knows not to bother us. Because technically, what I'm about to tell you, I'm not really supposed to be telling anyone. And I'm saying anyone. And whatever I tell you does not leave this room. Am I understood? Pinky promise? You're not still freaked out about my powers, are you? It's still okay? Look, the gloves are on. So you don't have to be scared or nothing. Yeah, okay. Pinky promise. Okay, so. Is this okay? You comfortable? You don't need nothing? No drinks? No blanket or nothing? You sure? Okay. And look, gloves still on. You can see in the mirror, all right? You can see that I'm wearing gloves. Okay, good. Anyway, so get a load of this. And remember, whatever I tell you does not leave this room, okay? Because I'm not sure if it'll mess with, the space-time continuum or, I don't know, future issues. I'm not really sure how, dimensional travel or, time travel really works. And I'm still not even really clear about, which one it actually is, But that's besides the point. A whole bunch of X-Men from a different dimension or a different timeline have ended up in the mansion. I know. Oh my goodness. Isn't that absolutely insane? You haven't even heard the best part. Okay, so it's a whole bunch of older versions of some of us, but not all of us. I didn't see an older version of you or nothing, but now that I think about it, I didn't even see an older version of me. I know she's here, because other people have seen her, but I haven't seen her. I haven't seen me. Does it still count as me? Maybe she doesn't want to see me. Do you think she doesn't want to meet me? I would understand. I can come off as a little rude. I don't know. You'll let me know if you see her though, right? I have some questions for her if she has the time. But that's besides the point. It's fine. Let me tell you who else I saw though. So get a load of this. You know how I've been always talking to you about the Brotherhood and stuff? And how sometimes, I understand where they're coming from, mutant and proud. And just wanting people to be less scared of you. I get it. We shouldn't have to hide who we are because we should be proud of who we are. It's easier said than done, But, okay, so you know who leads the Brotherhood, right? Yeah, Magneto. Anyway, he showed up with a group of mutants that look like us. And he's saying that he's part of the team or whatever. And I'm like, how can you be part of the team when all we do is fight against you? Oh my goodness. And he does look a little older, but also somehow like a little younger, but also like buff. Does that make sense? I know it sounds hard to believe, but he was wearing a purple jumpsuit with a big M across his chest, like we didn't know who he already was. Let me tell you, it was a look. It was a look. I'm not even sure if it's a really good one or not, but what can I say? I like to wear all black. But it was kind of slimming. I know. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, for an older gentleman, he was looking pretty good. If you catch my meaning. Not like I'm gonna do anything or nothing. He's obviously way too old for me. But still, it was weird. And that they were all on the same side. That's exactly what Professor X is always saying, that we need to be on the same side, on the same wavelength. It's hard to imagine that maybe that's our future. I know they said they were just taking a pit stop before heading to a different dimension. Something about dooms or whatever. I don't really know what that means. If he was saying like something was going to be doomed, or there was someone named doomed, or I don't know. Because technically I really wasn't supposed to be listening in, but I was doing that anyway. I can be quiet when I want to. I know, stop. But, so, you know how like Jean and Scott are kind of like a thing? So, in the future, apparently things are not as perfect as they seem. Shows little Miss Perfect Jean Grey. Whatever, I can be nice, just not nice to her. Anyway, they seem to be having some like tough times, where like Scott kept going like, I thought it was you, Jane. All that stuff, but apparently he was having something to do with this clone, her clone, his clone. I don't know. There was some clone shenanigans, and apparently he was having an affair. But also, I don't know, this Scott seems to be kind of a flirt, which, trust me, this one's kind of a flirt too. But she was like having none of it. None of it. And then, get a load of this. The older Scott had the audacity to be like flirting with Emma Frost right in front of her. I know. It's like both of you to be flirting when your spouse and the person you're flirting with can both read your mind. I would never have the audacity to do that. No. Even if I don't like Jean. Okay, even I know it's a bad idea to think bad things about her when she can hear you. Okay, I do that anyway. Serves her right. I know, she means well. It's just, it's really hard, looking at people who other people for sure are like not afraid of. Someone who seems everything comes naturally to. But like you always say, and like my mama always said, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Yada yada yada. Whatever. Still Miss Perfect. Also, it's not fair. She has very clear identity. And she has beautiful red hair. And everyone knows her for her powers. What people know me for. Being mean. I don't know, again, I just get angry. But you would be angry too, if your powers allowed you to like read other people's minds and their thoughts and their memories. And then after a while, then the power goes away and you're stuck being yourself again. I know. Not to be all downer on you. But I always do really appreciate the fact that you listen. And the fact that you're probably the most human contact I get to have on a regular basis. That doesn't involve me hurting someone, emotionally or physically or myself. Anyway, so I also saw an older version of Aurora. I know, Storm herself. And let me tell you, I didn't think it was possible. I really didn't think it was possible or anything, but somehow she became more beautiful. I swear. I mean, I thought getting older made you ugly. Guess she didn't get the memo, but of course, she used to be like a queen. So, what do I know? Maybe they're just made differently when you're royalty. Even though she married into it, technically. But still, beautiful. And I told her that to her face, both the younger one and the older version. And they both just laughed at me. They said, "Oh my goodness, you're being so sweet." I know, me and sweet in the same sentence. So funny. I know. Stop, you're gonna make me blush. I do try and contain myself and my temper. At least when I'm around you. I don't know, maybe it's because you never looked at me differently. And I always appreciate that. Maybe if other people did that, maybe I wouldn't get so mad. Oh, get a load of this. Okay, so Wolverine, right? Don't tell me you're still afraid of him. Are you? I told you, he's like a sweet old hound dog once you get to know him. Honestly, he's more bark than bite. I think he's both bark and bite. At least if you get on his bad side. So get a load of this. Our Logan met the other Logan, and they looked the exact same, down to the same t-shirt, which is a little worrying if he's supposed to be from the future. Why does he have, like, the same clothes? Besides the point. Anyway, they both look the exact same. Like, not a single thing different. I guess he just really doesn't age. Lucky him. Anyway, they just kind of looked at each other. They didn't say nothing. Not a single word. They just kind of like grunted at each other. Or like, And then both grabbed a beer and then sat down. And that was it. And they just kind of like looked at each other. It was kind of weird. But kind of sweet in a way. Like maybe, things don't have to be spoken between them. Or maybe, knowing Logan, he's not really good with like emotions and just like talking in general. Maybe they're both too uncomfortable to say nothing to each other. It was something to see, And there was also this guy named Morph. Yeah, I don't really know too much about him, or maybe I do. I don't know, he shapeshifts, so maybe I've already met him. That would be a cool power to have. Anyway, he seemed to be besides themselves, Seeing two Logans in one place. I swear, I didn't think it was possible for someone's eyes to bulge out like a cartoon, but somehow he did it. Like he didn't know where to look. Anyway, he asked if he could sit next to them. And the Logans both just like turned to him and said no. It was kind of funny, but then he said, what if I was a Logan too? And then he transformed into one of them and then sat at the table. And I guess they couldn't say nothing to that. It was a Logan party. A little too many Wolverines for my liking, though. Having one is like already tough enough to deal with. Still no me. You know who else was there? Gambit. That Remy LeBeau, that snake oil salesman himself, he was there. And he looked at me and started spouting some French at me. I was not having it. I said, you from any dimension? And he said, Sherry, why are you like this? Why am I like what? He's so much, I don't know, he thought I was being funny. Not like I cared or anything. He said, oh, I remember when you used to be like this. Whatever. Like what? Like myself? He said, I remember when you used to wear all black and didn't give me the time of day. Does that mean I'd give him the time of day now? Ugh. No, he's slimy. No. And kind of cute. But I didn't say that. Whatever. I know. It's pretty crazy. What would you do if you met an older version of yourself? Would you want to ask some questions? I don't know. Would you be too scared to? Would you want life to be a mystery? Or do you think, the older version would take one look at you and think you were cringy? I don't know. I think the current you is pretty much perfect. It's true. I bet the older you would take one look at you and be like, wow, I really had it all together even back then. Going on missions, being a hero, being so thoughtful, stuff. You know it's true. But in case you ever need a reminder, I'm right here, ready to remind you. And be, I guess, well, what would you call me? A guard dog? I don't know. Somebody that makes people think twice before even thinking about messing with you. Just one look alone, and I'll take off the glove. I mean, not right now, obviously. No. But, you know, a protector. I mean, I know you can protect yourself. You do a great job of it. I don't know. I want you to know that there's people out there who want to protect you anyway. Even though you're brave and strong and mature. It's always nice to be taken care of. I mean, that's why we do this, isn't that right? You come and visit me and I massage your scalp. And me, well, I get human connection, which is hard when your powers do not allow you to touch people without hurting them. So, you know, even though I have to wear gloves and everything, it's still nice to feel connected with someone. And I'm so thankful that it's you. And don't get me wrong, I have other friends. One other friend. But even then, we're pretty different. Kitty's always go, go, go. And I kind of am less that. I guess I can be like that, but that's only when I get mad. Then I always feel like I have to go clear my head or something. It's nice to know I can be mad with you, or happy, or sad, or I don't know. Even be the chance to be nothing with you. I think that's when you know you found someone special. You are so special. Don't even start that. So very special. And I'm proud that you kind of decided exactly who you want to be. I mean, not just, you know, in life or appearance or whatever, but even deciding that you were going to be an X-Men. I know that takes a lot of courage to stand up for something that you believe in, even when others might not feel the same way. I know it took me a lot longer to agree to be an X-Men anyway. I feel like, I don't know, it's nice that things come easier to you. I don't want anything to ever make you feel less than or make you feel worried. It's true. I know it's kind of strange though. Having an older version of yourself running around where you live, where you eat, where you sleep. I wonder. I don't know. I wonder what she's been through. How she looks, how she acts. If she's happy. I don't know, maybe if I could meet an older version of myself, I would ask that. Sounds so silly, right? So simple. I would just ask if we're happy. To me, I think that makes everything else worth it. Look at me being all sentimental. I know. But still, how funny is it that Scott is a mess? Mr. Rules and Goody Two Shoes himself, flirting with his girl right in front of him. Not to mention, Jean looked a little rough. Like she was going through something, which I guess I shouldn't be laughing at. It's never good to have anyone hurting, but I don't know, maybe it makes me see her in a different light. No, it's okay that you guys are friends. I don't mind. As long as you continue to allow me the small courtesy of your time and attention. Allow me to keep doing this. It's probably one of the only things that makes me feel normal in the entire world. Did you need me to brush out your hair? That's no problem. Hold on, I'll be right back. Alright. Now you just let me know if anything hurts, alright? Okay. I won't leave you looking a mess. Could you imagine? I mean, what if you did run into the older version of yourself? I want to make sure that you look your absolute best. I didn't mess up your hair that bad. I know it's been worse. I think it depends on the kind of day I've had. You know, if I'm having a rougher day, maybe I'll mess up your hair just a tiny bit more. And vice versa. There. Pretty as a picture. Well, did you want to hang around a little bit longer, or? I know what we can do. Hold on. Let me go put up my brush. Why don't you and I go and see if we can get a little bit more gossip? I know, though I'm not really quite sure where everyone is located. So maybe I'm gonna have to do some snooping, you know? But maybe, just maybe, we might be able to catch a look at me from the future or a different dimension. So, how does that sound? You wanna go play detective with me? But I'm gonna go do some sleuthing first, so we don't go in blind. So you wait right there, and I'll come and get you when I'm ready, okay? It's gonna be so much fun. Imagine all the dirt we're gonna get. No, I'm gonna go. Wait right here. Hey, sugar. I'm guessing this is Rogue's room. Interesting. You know, I would have really never picked myself as a goth, but maybe this version of me is. How interesting. I don't know you. That's okay, I'm always ready to meet some new friends. Why don't you and I spend some time together? Guess wait for her to get back. I feel like that's a conversation she and I should have before I skedaddle. What do you say, darling? You want to spend some time with little old me? Wonderful.